Hello friends, welcome to Insight Raigan Initiative. In this video, we are going to discuss about Election Commission of India. You know that the Election Commission of India related bill, it is in today's parliament, it is passed by Rajya Sabha. In this context, we are going to discuss about what are the proposed changes in relation to Election Commission of India. Of course, there are certain changes are going to be happen regarding the appointment committee of the Election Commission of India. We will see that. Anyhow, before that, first let us go through the contents of this video. In this video, we are going to discuss about why this particular thing is in news. I already told you why it is in news, about Election Commission of India, its constitutional provisions and its composition. Then appointment and tenure of Election Commission of India, previously how it used to be and now how it is changed. Then composition of Election Commission, budget and expenditure, present scenario, what changes proposed by Government of India, and the government reply and Supreme Court observations. These are the things we are going to discuss in this video. Now let's see syllabus mapping. This topic is related to Indian Constitution features, significant provisions and constitutional bodies. That is the syllabus mapping. Now let's see, in this particular topic, we are going to discuss about the Election Commissioner and other commissions, appointment, conditions of service and term of office bill 2023. This bill, today it is passed in the Rajya Sabha and now we are discussing about this particular bill. What is this bill is all about? What is this bill doing? Okay, this bill is regulating following aspects. Okay, appointment committees related to CEC and EC, election commissioners as well as the chief election commissioner. Then this bill is also dealing with the salary and allowances of CEC and EC. Apart from that, legal protection, if they are doing any activities as a part of their duty, they will be protected from legal prosecution. This applies to the present EC as well as CEC and the former ex-CEC as well as EC. Legal protection from civil and criminal proceedings. Okay, these are the three aspects which are primarily dealing by this particular bill. Now let us see what are the issues. First, the controversial provision. Initially, this bill was saying that the appointment committee, okay, so initially, friends, there was no particular set of rules regarding the appointment of the CEC and EC. But later Supreme Court observed that the appointment committee related to CEC and EC, the appointment committee should consist of CJI plus Prime Minister and leader of the opposition. But this bill is proposing that the appointment committee will consist of Prime Minister, leader of opposition and a minister, a cabinet minister who is nominated by the Prime Minister. That means no CJI. It is completely controversial in contrary to the Supreme Court judgment. Let's see what are the Supreme Court remarks when they are reviewing this particular act if someone go to court. But anyhow, Supreme Court suggested that CJI presence must be there here. So to ensure the independency of the Election Commission of India, that is there, that is regarding the appointment committee. And the controversial provision is, originally this bill proposed the salary and dearness allowances and the office conditions are equivalent to cabinet secretary. The CEC and EC's perks, allowances and salaries will be equivalent to cabinet secretary. But now amendment proposed, now they have been restored back to Supreme Court judge. Now they are equivalent to Supreme Court judge. Same like now previously the removal process did not change. The removal process of the CEC is same like Supreme Court judge and the removal process of EC same like on the recommendation of the CEC, that did not change. And the legal protection from civil and criminal proceedings. This bill is safeguarding the CEC as well as EC from legal prosecuting as a part of their discharge of their duty. This amendment protects official from civil as well as the criminal proceedings. It applicable to current CEC EC as well as the ex-CEC EC. So this is about the particular bill. So this bill is dealing with select appointment committee. Now it is not following the Supreme Court guidelines regarding the salary conditions and everything. It changed and reverted back to similar to Supreme Court judge. And third one, it is offering the legal protection. Now in this context, we'll try to understand Election Commission of India. You all know that Election Commission of India is a constitutional body, and the composition and the powers and duties of Election Commission of India are clearly mentioned in the Constitution from Article 324 to Article 329. Election Commission of India is a permanent and independent body. It was established on 25th January 1950. That's the reason that 25th January every year we observe that as a National Voters' Day. Article 324 clearly mentioning that Election Commission of India conduct election to Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and State Legislative Assembly and Legislative Council elections apart from President and Vice President elections. Note, the Constitution of India provides separate State Election Commission in the form of Article 243K. The separate State Election Commission, they conduct election to local government. So don't mix up the two election commissions. Related constitutional provisions. Part 6, Part 15 of the Indian Constitution deal with elections and the establishment of Election Commission for these matters. Election Commission in India was established on 25th January 1950, and provisions from Article 324 to Article 329 deals with various provisions regarding the ECI, Election Commission of India. These are those provisions. Out of this, the most important one, Article 324, which deals with the Election Commission of India itself. Then Article 325, preparation of voter list, and Article 326, universal adult franchise. These are the most important articles in relation to Election Commission of India. Then Article 329, courts are barred from interfering in the electoral matters. So once the election model code of conduct is announced, courts are barred from entering into the matters. The entire things controlled under the Election Commission of India. Next, appointment and tenure. Obviously, the CEC as well as the EC both are appointed by the President. The tenure 6 years or 65 years of age. Salary, now they have been restored again. They will get similar salaries to Supreme Court judge. Qualification, Constitution did not mention any specific qualification to the CEC as well as EC. It is entirely dependent on the search panel, which is headed by the Law Ministry, and appointment committee, which is led by following 3 members just now we discussed. Constitution not debarred the retiring election commission from any future appointment. That means they can take up the future appointments. Removal, CEC will be removed similar to Supreme Court judge, okay, whereas ECs will be removed on the recommendation of CEC. So the CEC will be removed on the grounds of misbehavior and incapacity, similar to Supreme Court judges. Next, composition of Election Commission of India. Constitution did not mention anything about the composition of Election Commission of India, but originally we adopted the single member body up to 1989. But in 1989, when we reduced the voting age from 21 years to 18 years at that time, obviously the burden on the Election Commission of India increased. So the composition also increased from 1 member body to 1 plus 2, that is 3 member body in 1989. But next year, as VP Singh came into power, the 3 member body again reverted back into 1 member body. Later, during the PV Narasimha Rao government, again the Election Commission of India strength increased from 1 member body to 3 member body. Now we are continuing with the 3 membered Election Commission of India. Now the Election Commission of India strength is 3 members. The amendment which reduced the voting age from 21 years to 18 years, that amendment was 61st Constitution Amendment Act 1989. Budget and expenditure. Election Commission of India, they have independent budget. They get money directly from the Ministry of Finance. If elections are conducted only for the Parliament, the entire expenditure bear by the Union government. If the elections are conducted for both Parliament as well as the Assembly simultaneously, then 50% of the money will be shared by the state legislature as well as the centre. If elections are conducted only to the state assembly, then all the money will be bear by the state only. And in the state level, to help to the Election Commission of India, there will be one officer at bureaucrat level. That officer will be the Chief Electoral Officer. Chief Electoral Officer is appointed by the CEC, Chief Election Commissioner of India, in consultation with the state government. At district level, we have district collector as district returning officer, and this district level returning officer, they appoint they appoint returning officer in the constituency level, then it goes further level up to the booth level. And Election Commission of India conduct following functions: forming of electoral roll, declaring election results, fixing the expenditure limit to the candidates, and model code of conduct, giving symbols to the political party, registration and recognition to political parties, and notifying the election schedule. And it also helps to delimitation commission in fixing the boundaries of constituencies. These are the powers and functions of Election Commission of India. Supreme Court observation. Supreme Court clearly observed that recently what is happening, even though the election commissioners, even though they are having the tenure of 6 years or 65 years of age, government is appointing them at very late age, like 64 years or 63 years. Because of that, no election commissioners are generally they are not serving more than couple of years. In fact, some are ending up serving as only few weeks or few months. This is not a good sign. Because of this very less tenure in that particular office, they are unable to bring any reforms. That is what Supreme Court observed. This can be changed only when the appointment process of the ECs is very transparent. That can be possible only when the appointment committee includes CJI. That is what Supreme Court suggested. Supreme Court suggested that the appointment committee of CJI and appointment committee of CEC as well as EC, it should consist of CJI. But of course, government did not heed to that advice. Government included a cabinet minister nominated by the Prime Minister. Okay, that is where the issue. Supreme Court also quoted T.N. Seshan as well in that particular judgment. Supreme Court quoted that Election Commission of India cannot expect T.N. Seshan kind of people all the time to ensure the independence of the Election Commission. The government is replying that Constitution did not mention anything about the appointment. If Constitution would have mentioned, okay, they would have really mentioned. So we cannot enter into that area, and Parliament is the one which has to take care about that. That is the reason now they introduced the bill. Okay, now they introduced the bill. That is what the government told before the Supreme Court previously. Way forward, CEC of the caliber of T.N. Seshan is required to ensure free and fair election to strengthen the democracy in India. Though those kind of personalities will appear occasionally, appointment without any biases can provide at least we can appoint a very honest and upright officer, very integral officer, if we make sure the appointment committee consists of at least CJI kind of people. Now it is completely overloaded with the union executive, that is Prime Minister, Cabinet Minister nominated by Prime Minister, and leader of the opposition. If any one of the member is absent, majority member's decision is also final. That means even though the leader of opposition is not present, Prime Minister as well as the Cabinet Minister, they can finalize the election commissioners. Yesterday's video question, Rudram 1 successfully tested by DRDO is what? It is an anti-radiation missile. Anti-radiation missile. Now today's question is, consider the following statement. Read these following two statements and pick the right one. Mains question. Discuss the role of the Election Commission of India in the light of the evolution of Model Code of Conduct. In the evolution of Model Code of Conduct, what is the role of Election Commission of India? Now, as we reach to the end of this video, we will quickly revise what we discussed in this video. We discussed about bill which is related to appointment of Election Commissioner as CEC as well as the service conditions of the CEC and EC. So, we discussed about controversial provisions and some provisions restored back. What are those provisions we discussed, and what are the Supreme Court observations previously. And we also discussed about composition of the Election Commission of India, constitutional provisions related to Election Commission of India, and so previously what were the issues related to Election Commission of India, and now what kind of legal immunity the CEC as well as ECs are getting. So all these details we covered, and this is the detailed analysis regarding the bill related to the appointment of CEC and EC.